Hello. Ooh, I love all those tunkas on your wall back there, man. Those are cool. Hey, gentlemen. All right. So I don't know who's joining us today, but we'll just get going regardless. Just gonna lead you guys through a short practice to start, just to get us a little more present. Probably about midday for everybody. And it's always I like having practices spaced throughout the day. I don't always do them, but just like a little quick something to kind of come back into my body, especially after I've been working a lot. So I definitely encourage that if you guys aren't already doing that, just to kind of frame out your day, contain your day in some kind of consciousness generating practice. So we're going to start out by just standing actually. So have you guys stand up, and and we're just going to start to shake out the arms a little bit. So just shaking the arms and starting to shake the torso. Starting to pick the legs up and shake the legs out. So you're basically just shaking the whole body. So really, you really want to get it moving now. Like notice where you're kind of resisting or holding back or afraid to look stupid. Just allow yourself to look stupid. Doesn't matter. Just kind of engage the body. Make sure you're breathing. Might even feel good to make some noise. Just kind of allow the sound to release tension that's built up, anxiety, frustration. Just kind of let it out. Really try to get your spine moving. Shake your hips. Shake your ass. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. Not gonna be doing this for long, so really just go for it. Try to shake your head a little bit. Relax your jaw. Just gonna allow somebody in here. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep shaking. Shake, 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 shake. Shake your body. Shake your legs if you haven't already. Let out whatever you're holding on to. Now come to stillness. Come to total stillness. Now just close your eyes. Bring your attention inward. Feel that relationship between your feet and the ground. Unbend your knees just slightly. Roll your shoulders back. Bring your chest forward. Start to deepen your breath down into your abdomen, your belly. Feel your belly expand on the inhale. Exhale through an open mouth. Just sighing it out, letting go of anything else you're holding on to. Inhale nice and deep into the belly. So we're going to do one more short breath practice while we're standing here. So you're going to inhale through the nose, 2 inhales, and then an exhale. So it's going to be inhale, abdomen, and then extend that inhale by breathing again into the chest, and then exhale through the nose. So it'll be like so it's 3-part breath, 2 inhales for every exhale. Belly, chest, release. Another 30 seconds. Keep going. You might start to feel some heat in the body. That's normal. Your body might start to have some tingly sensations. That's normal. So inhale one more time, nice and deep. Hold the breath at the top. And now exhale completely. Hold the breath out at the bottom. And just hold it as long as you can here. Get underneath the noise of your mind, your thoughts, feelings, find stillness. Just watch what's happening. Inhale nice and deep. And exhale through an open mouth, just let it go. Just make your way back to the call. All right. Good to see everybody. All right. Yeah, let's just, since we got a small group, you guys all just pop on, unmute yourself, and just give a 1 sentence, really quick check in, like what's here for you now, what's alive for you. Yeah, go for it, Mike.
What's alive for me now? Actually, that breath practice was key. I was kind of in a not sorry, but not so great state of mind, and that's just dialed me in a bit. That was a good course correction.
Yeah, good, man. Glad it helped. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I reached out a little earlier to Soma, Mike, just to catch you up. I've got an event tonight for my kids, and my ex-wife will be there. And for some reason, when I found out, like, the circumstances that she was going to be there, it sent me into a panic. These are the types of things I've been doing the work for several months. So I'm a little unnerved more by being panicked than by the actual event and having to confront her or be in her presence. So, I've negotiated deals with some huge corporations, and this feels way worse than any of that. So I'm a little shook up, but that practice helped definitely so much. So thank you for that.
That was helpful. Good. Yeah, we'll check in about that a little bit more in depth in a moment. John, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, Soma. How are you?
Really good. Good to be here.
Good. Yeah, that breath practice was very centering. I've had a really, really hectic day at work, and as things go at home, things have been kind of crazy as well. And just to do a real deep depth breath practice is just centering and brings you to the moment. It's great.
Excellent. Yeah, good to hear. So Yeah, the way I've decided to kind of structure these calls moving forward, I might change this, but it's just what feels right for now, is just to create this space for you guys to get some focused coaching work on whatever's here for you, whatever you want some support around. So, you know, in the past, I've kind of chosen a subject, which I might bring back at some point, but really it's just about supporting you guys wherever you're at. So, um, yeah, Tyler, I'd love to jump in with you if you feel ready for that.
Yeah, I'd love it.
Yeah. Um, so, so you're still feeling what? What are you feeling right now? Just to kind of bring it back to the present moment, because that's really all we've got, right?
Yep. Uh, I'm just, I worked so hard to be in a place where kindness rules the day, and right now I'm just feeling really panicked, and I would like to get to a place where I can go to this event and support my son and enjoy it because it's about him, and not make it about the hurt from the divorce or anything like that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
any of the issues that follow
Yeah.
that.
Great. So I love that intention. That's great. So ultimately, though, we got to start where you are, right? So let's just want to invite you to find where in your body that you're kind of noticing this panic. You can close your eyes if that makes it easier.
It's like the back of my throat is, and like kind of the back of my tongue is it's as though it has had a Charlie horse, and there's that fatigue of having that tightness. I kind of feel that's where I'm feeling it
Yeah, yeah,
mostly.
yeah. Let's just stay with that. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yep.
just kind of go into that sensation. Is there? So it sounds like there's a tightness. Is there? Is there a texture to it at all?
Yeah, it's texture to it. Yeah, it's kind of gritty,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like I don't feel nauseated, but I'm like I could be at any minute. Like
Yeah.
like I I unfortunately I've been in a couple of car accidents, and it
Yeah.
kind of feels like that, like the immediate following of that. And even when I've come close to getting in an accident or something like that, it's like that grittiness that
Mm-hmm.
like
Oh, great.
something traumatic could have or just did happen.
Mm-hmm. So it feels kind of almost like a trauma response in your body. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So try to stay with it. Actually, I want to invite you to actually close your eyes just to really feel a little bit deeper. Take a breath. And so if that part of you could speak right now, it would say, like if you were speaking from the
um
feeling itself.
uh your son will forgive you. Don't put yourself in that situation, but that doesn't feel
It's okay. Let's just stay with it.
authentic to me. So okay.
Yeah, let's not, let's just allow the process to unfold
Okay.
here. So, um,
Yeah, just avoid it at all costs.
okay. And if I avoided it, then I would.
I would sit and think about it anyways and probably suffer the same way. But I would also have the shame of having not supported my son in his
Mhm.
moment.
And the stories that I would make up about myself would be.
Um, that I'm a lousy father, that I'm always going to be hurt by um, these situations with my ex, and that she's always going to wield this power over me.
And how those stories make me feel are
Anxious, like angry, resentful, nervous.
and if that resentment could talk right now, I would say.
Um, you deserved more from that relationship. You put in a majority of the effort, which is a lie, but
Just let it.
but the resentment would
unfiltered,
say that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Um,
I'm trying to be politically.
you put in all this effort, and she took so much from you, so you get to feel this way. You deserve to feel this way.
Mm-hmm. And where that resentment feels familiar is
I mean, I feel it every day, less and less, but I feel it.
Mm-hmm. And how old I feel when I touch that resentment.
You know, 14 years old or something. Is that? I feel immature.
Yeah, just see if you can actually find an age where you felt that before.
Oh. Yeah. Probably 16. Like vividly at 16.
Yeah. And when I was 16, I was angry because
I was angry because I felt like my dad was a little hard on me. He was really hard on me. Like physically abusive at that time.
Mm-hmm. And if I could tell my dad how that made me feel, I would say,
listen, old man, I don't know what's going on in your life, but you do not need to take it out on me every damn day.
mm-hmm. And if I allowed myself to express the anger I feel towards my father, I would say,
I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm almost as big as you are now. And one of these days, I'm going to throw a punch back.
and I'm angry at you, Dad, because
I think this abuse is unwarranted. Having a dirty room does not deserve a punch in the mouth.
mm-hmm. Stay with it, take a breath. Take another breath. And if I really let my dad know how I felt with my real anger in it, I would say,
the second I have the means, I am so out of this place. I'm just gone.
So I want to invite you to reconnect with that anger and resentment that you feel. Where do you feel it in your body?
Sorry, the internet was breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, so see if you can breathe into where you feel that anger towards your father. So take a breath into that. And just see if there's more there that needs to be expressed. You still feel more energy there.
You're charging me for car payments and insurance payments every month, and I feel like for the car I'm driving, I've paid you 10 times over in the last couple of years. So I feel like you're stealing from me now. I work for you, and I'm tired of being yelled at home and yelled at work. I'm tired of being underpaid when I know what you're paying people that do the same job as me. And I'm making less than half of what they are. So I feel like you're taking advantage of me there. And I can just tell. I can't put my finger on it, but I know something's going on. At that age, hindsight's 2020, and I was right, but
Yeah.
at that age, I could just feel it. I could feel something was way off.
Yeah. So if you were going to set a boundary with your father in a firm way, in a strong way, what would you say? If you had to stand up to him.
You're going to stay 6 feet back from me. And if I hear you start raising your voice at all, I'm walking out the door. I'm getting in my car and I'm driving off. And I'll give you an hour to cool down, and then I'll come home and we can try it again if you have something important to say to me. Otherwise, just back off.
So just to complete this sentence, it's not okay for you to. It's not okay for you
to put your hands on me every conversation that you want to have with me and yell in my face and spit on me and prevent me from responding.
So take a breath. And I want you to say what I really wished you could have given me, Dad, was.
An ounce of respect and the benefit of the doubt. And owned your own shit and not put it all on me. I didn't need a father who looked for every opportunity to pick apart any reason he might find for something that I've crossed him with, or crossed my mother, or
So how this relates to my current dynamic with my ex is
she's caused she played a part in a lot of the pain that I feel now. But I'm in a place where I still give her the power to like drive the interaction.
Mhm.
And I'm that kid again who tries not to do anything bad, doesn't do anything good, just doesn't do anything, just sits and worries
Mhm.
when she's around.
Yeah. So if I could really openly speak to my ex, I would tell her,
Listen, I'm trying to be civil about this, but there are a lot of things that are so triggering about being around you still. How quickly you moved on, how much you took from me, the passive aggressive things you say to the kids that get back to me. Um, so it's really hard for me to be in the same place as you and focus on what that event is, focus on the kids,
Mhm.
because I'm so distracted by the past.
And what really hurts me is
That I work every day to try and let that go and to move on. And I'm just not totally there yet. Every day is better, but it's still fresh and hurts.
yeah. So what really hurts me about what you do, speaking to your ex, what really hurts me about what you do
Is advertently or inadvertently, you bring up topics with me that are triggering. You, which forces me to dig up the past and rehash things in my own head. And it's inappropriate to rehash them with you and seek out some sort of closure that I feel entitled to, but you don't owe me that. Um, Nonetheless, the pain is still there and it's still fresh. And even though you've moved on so quickly, which is another trigger, um, I just wish I was able to just let it go.
take a breath. So the boundaries I need to set in order to take care of the part of me that is getting triggered right now are
I need to limit as much contact as I can. I need to keep a distance. I need to make sure I do my work, and I need to let go. Just need to let go.
yeah. So I want you to go ahead and put your hands on your chest, the center of your chest, and just feel the part of you that's triggered right now, that is feeling anxious about seeing her in person. Just bringing your attention to that part of you just to see if there's something that you need right now in order to feel safe to go there.
Hmm.
What does that part of you need right now?
I think I need something that, like, I need an out. I need a valid reason to leave for a few minutes if I need to.
Hmm. So what's a valid reason for you to leave for a few
Uh,
minutes?
I think I'll set an alarm that sounds like a phone call and
Mhm.
decide to take it or not, and I'll just snooze it.
Is 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 that really necessary though? Can't you just like step outside for a few minutes?
Yeah, yeah, I can.
Go use the restroom.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Yeah. So just check in and see if you know it, that might help, in a triggered moment. Is there anything else that would give you a little bit more of a sense of like security and stability in that situation? Like anything that just tuning into both that sort of scared part of you and your higher self that can kind of foresee how to take care of that part of you. What do you imagine would support you there?
Um, Maybe recalling like a lot of my meditation practice where, um, maybe instead of focusing on the breath for this sort of like treat it as a meditation practice where instead of focusing on my breath, I'm focusing on my son. And maybe every
Mm,
time I start to think about something else, I bring it back to my son. I think that might be a good way
mm.
to approach it.
Yeah, yeah. So right now, see if you can feel the love that you have for your son. Just feel how much you love your boy. Maybe how proud you are of him.
He's a good kid.
Yeah. And yeah, I want you to, part of that practice, I think that's a great idea. What I want you to bring to that tournament is, obviously taking care of yourself and having some awareness of your own triggers, but if you could dedicate being there to him, like the kind of experience that would really serve him, that would, you know, maybe impact him for his whole life, just the way that you showed up.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah. It doesn't mean you're not going to have feelings related to the ex, but if you can keep your focus on loving him, giving yourself as much, physical space as possible, maybe so she's not even in your periphery. I don't know how big this tournament is, right? But just to kind of be in the zone with him and just giving him that love and attention that he probably really wants from you.
Yeah, definitely do that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you can open your eyes whenever you're ready. So first off, I want to say, like, sometimes trying to get rid of anxiety will make it worse. So you don't want to just try to, get rid of it. Just acknowledge, here, I'm feeling this, and that's okay.
Okay.
And there's probably deeper things that's connected to that, we're not going to resolve in 20-30 minutes on this call. But again, like, that can exist simultaneously. Like, it doesn't need to be the only place where your attention is, right? So you can allow those feelings, they're just feelings, right? And
Yeah.
you don't need to react to them. You can allow those to just be happening in your body while your attention is on your son. And you're showing up as the father that you want to be to him.
I love that.
Yeah. And I will say, like, it might be helpful to, I think I gave you this practice the other day, like take it to the punching bag right before you go out there. Just like, it's not real. So you can imagine your ex's face on there. Like you can just imagine all that money she took from you, like all this shit, and just let it fly, in a container.
Love it.
Release the anger. Just try to get your body clear as possible. And I know there's other emotions there. Like I know there might be some jealousy with her being with another guy, and those things are very real. And your heart is probably hurting on some level too, right? So be gentle with that part of yourself, and that's where you might need to like step outside in the middle of it and just be like, I'm going to take a few minutes, just go stand outside and recommit to this practice, and come back in when you can.
Okay, that sounds great.
Yeah. I just want to check in. Is there anything else that you need to share to just, feel like you can show up there in a more grounded way?
No, I have high expectations.
Yeah.
So
So
I think a lot of this
go.
is from that, right? Is
Yeah. Yeah. So what are the expectations?
That by now, like, I guess on the anniversary of a year later, I could handle shit like this with flying colors, and it wouldn't even faze me, and I'd be fine.
So you're judging yourself for still holding on to certain things.
Yeah, for sure. For allowing it to kick me in the nuts like this when stupid shit like this goes down. So not the event, so to speak, but like being notified that she's going to be there, and just I just want to be past that, have let it go, and I'm not there yet.
Yeah. Well, I just want to let you know something, brother. Like, I've been separated from my ex for about 10 years, and I still get triggered sometimes when I see her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's normal, you're saying?
Yeah, it depends, depends on the relationship, depends on the co-parenting dynamic, all that stuff, and it's something that you might just need to be able to work with to some degree. And that's why, healthy structures and boundaries are sometimes important. And sometimes, like, we can't always have those, right? Like, there might be interactions that are going to need to happen if you're co-parenting with somebody. And so setting yourself up to have the best possible outcome is important, and not, judging yourself for not being at a certain place is not supporting you right now. Just gotta drop that. And you could judge me for 10 years of like holding on to shit, or but
no, I would never.
Right. So if you're not going to judge me, then don't judge yourself for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Compassion. Love that part of you that has feelings. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And that's an ongoing practice, man. But just see if you can let yourself off the hook a little bit, and just allow your humanity to be here.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. So go ahead and just take a deep breath into that part of you that can love yourself where you are right now. See if you can kind of just relax into that. Here I am a year later.
9 more to go.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
thank you everybody else for bearing with me.
It's an honor, honestly. Tyler, that was incredibly brave. If I don't mean to interject, but if I can just offer, what I just witnessed was super courageous to be so vulnerable and to take time to come join this group and to address this issue. I think is a massively strong and brave maneuver on your part. I see courage and I see strength and bravery in you. So just wanted to give that feedback. I think you got this, man. I think you got it.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that, man. A lot.
Thank you for sharing.
Well done, brother. Really well done.
Thank you, John.
It takes a lot of
Appreciate that.
courage to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, feel that courageous man and bring him with you. Right? Bring him with you to that tournament. Yeah. So, yeah, we got another 15 minutes or so. Anybody want to jump in? What's happening for you, Mike or John? What's going on in your world?
If I can, Soma.
Yeah.
So you know a fair amount of my history, and you know some of the difficulties I've had with my wife, and I'm still kind of grappling with just the lack of relationship that we've fallen into. We're basically roommates now, and it's it leaves me in a place of not feeling wanted, cared about, loved. And it was interesting as you were going through this last conversation, it took me into, where does this root from? And I've kind of tried to explore that a little bit myself, but I'll go so far as to say middle kid syndrome. And the only boy in the family, I think I was just kind of left to my own devices, not only to fend for myself to a certain extent, but find my own gratification. And really, it was my feeling from my parents that I didn't really need to be loved or cared for or paid attention to.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Just having known you for some time, John, like that kind of resonates for how I have experienced you, in terms of, like this kind of, I'm good, like I don't need anything in a way, like on the outside maybe. Is that?
But I'm not. I'm not good.
Right. But that's kind of, so here's the thing. Here's what I want to kind of call you forward on is like, we often train our partners or condition them to give us what we believe we deserve, or, how we're used to having it in a way. Can you see how maybe you've done that to some degree with
Clearly.
your partner? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not challenged myself openly, and had trouble really owning my failures. And I would, I fail all the time. Integrity is the biggest thing with a man, and we are not always in integrity. And so things that I would do wrong, I would retreat and not own it. Mm-hmm. And so that has changed. But now I'm a little afraid because I kind of wonder if I've just fucked it up so bad that I'm not going to get their trust back.
Yeah.
And we had a discussion, and I'll call it, a more serious discussion than, House of Weather. And I, rather than start to retreat,
Yeah.
sat up straight and took time to breathe through every single response I gave her.
Hmm.
And instead of feeling wounded and full of arrows after we got done with our conversation, I
Yeah.
had a certain amount of satisfaction that I actually faced it, owned it, and apologized for what I need to.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's really great. Yeah.
It felt good.
Yeah. And that's, that's a huge part of repair. I think you get that is like that ownership piece. And one thing I just want to bring this in case it hasn't been addressed, but in terms of like, we can own the places where we were out of integrity with the other person and kind of dropped them or caused them pain in some way. But we also need to own where we were out of integrity with ourselves in such a way that we didn't create a culture of relationship that allowed us to get our own needs met on some
Yes.
level. And so I don't know if that's been addressed with her, but it might need to be brought. Like, I didn't believe I deserved love, so I allowed this to happen.
Good point. I can see some truth in that.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's how you would phrase it, but whatever form that's true for you, like I, you can go into more of the details. Like, I've tolerated, lack of physical connection, and it's not blaming her. Like, it's very easy to go into blaming, like, no, you don't touch me, you don't give me enough attention, whatever the thing is, right? So it's owning that you've kind of allowed for that by maybe not asking for it directly, expecting it, without, having these kind of covert contracts maybe.
Yes.
So and I wouldn't go straight into that, but it might be an important exercise to kind of reflect on those pieces. Like, where have you dropped yourself first?
Yes. Yeah, and I can name those.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and name them here so you can practice.
A lot of things in integrity related to financial follow through, forgetting certain promises I made, and none of that on purpose. Just an honest to God, I forgot it. But I tend to fall into that mistake a lot, and so there's been a large amount of effort on my part to utilize my phone, put in reminders, keep a list in my pocket, those kinds of things, and rather than reacting to a bad situation, owning that situation and stating my truth in a loving way.
Mm-hmm.
And I choose not to react, violently, verbally. But I haven't been owning those things either.
Right. So can I give you a little bit of feedback?
Of course.
My sense is that there's some anger in you that's unowned.
Yes.
And
I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah. And it might be tied to your past, but there might be some anger that's actually relevant to this current situation. And so it's important to kind of, number one, like, do some work to make it okay to be angry, period. Like, you're allowed to be angry sometimes. And, we don't want it coming out in like an aggressive, violent way, but it's okay to have anger, with a partner.
Yes. Right.
Yeah. So right now I'm angry at your wife's name is Patty, right?
Yes.
I'm angry at Patty because
I don't get any affection or love from her.
Yeah.
Or feeling like I matter.
Yeah. So I want you to imagine you're talking to her right now. So just I'm angry at you, Patty,
I'm angry at you, Patty, because I go through every day and I don't feel like you'll ever care about me. And I realize that that stems from things that have happened in the past. But
Don't let her off the hook. Just get angry. Get her.
Okay.
Get angry.
I continually work and I don't see any fucking feedback, and no positive feedback. I only see the negative feedback. I only feel and see the negative comments, and it's not placing me in a place where I'm happy.
So take a breath. And this really hurts because
I love you and I want to be needed and loved by you.
So breathe into that vulnerable truth. And where I've deflected love in my life, where it's been available, is
By not showing up, by not being conscious in situations where I really could have taken a separate tact and been there for your heart. Physically, I'm almost always there. Rarely am I not, but I've not been supportive of her heart and her trust.
yeah. So where I've withheld my truth around my needs is
Not being clear about my own needs and intentions, and not stating my own needs and intentions. And desires.
what I really need from this relationship to be all in is
Your love and affection. Show you care.
just take a breath and feel that real human need, really basic need. Feel how you deserve that.
Kind of fills the dead space in my heart.
Mm-hmm. So my commitment moving forward is
To be honest with you and honest with me. Continue to work and be more aware. Being more aware. Own my anger.
mm-hmm. And the support that I need in order to be more aware in my life is
More understanding, more positive about the good things in our lives. About the beauty that we do have in our children and grandchildren. And the relationship we had.
and the ways that I can resource myself outside of this relationship are.
Just continue to create. I've started to spend more time creating things and doing things just for me.
Mm.
And that feels really good on me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For me too. I can feel that for you. Yeah. When was the last time you took a day to yourself?
I try to do that a good part of each day on the weekends. You know, I commit to doing certain things with her. But then I disappear into my shop or I disappear into the yard and I do those things that make me happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking like more of like a full day, like go away for yourself, you know, just reconnect to John kind of experience.
Not done that for a full day. I've done that for 3 or 4 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels very liberating and very core centering to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I need to give myself a weekend.
Yeah. That feels good.
I've been thinking about that for a long time. I've talked with Donovan about that a number of times.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe, you know, get a couple of guys together, or, you know, you can feel into what's really right for you. It could be a weekend away with guys that you care about, you know, a little camping trip, something like that, or just solitude, you know.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because I just want to say, like, you know, you occur to me as a giver in a lot of ways. And I know you're taking little bits of time to yourself, which is great. But this, some of the giving feels to me like a little bit of a covert contract, of like, you know, I'm going to I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine kind of thing, you know? And I know you've read No More Mr. Nice Guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Does that resonate for you, like what I'm speaking of?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
You know, and some of that Mr. Nice Guy stuff really hits home.
Yeah.
I've actually read it once and now I'm going back through it kind of slowly, but going back through it and really working through the exercises.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. And just, you know, you just got to start to, you know, that's where the awareness needs to go, is around like, am I doing this because I genuinely want to, and that's a real expression of my love? Or is it like, I'm going to, you know, do what I think she wants because hopefully maybe she'll give me a little bit of love back at some point.
Yeah, it was that for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm really getting away from that and
Yeah.
doing the shit I want to do.
Good.
And if she appreciates it and enjoys it and thinks it's great, then that's a plus. But at the end of the day, I'm a happy dude.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. So yeah, man, I'd love to see, maybe you can post it in the group, you can sit with it and like feel into what do I need right now? Like to come back to myself, to get clear on like these really fundamental needs, to, you know, might be a little bit of a retreat to just kind of check in and like, here's the areas of my life that are unmet and unfed, right? And, you know, John Wineland talks about terms. I'm sure you've heard him talk about it, but it's like there's the, you know, the kind of non-negotiable needs that we have in relationship to even be there. And what I've experienced is in order to like really fully be empowered in relationship, we need to be able to be willing to walk away if we're not getting our needs met, you know? And that's, you know, it's not like that's being used as a threat but it's clear, like, this is who I am. I deserve these things. I care about myself enough to bring them forward and do whatever I can to get those needs met. And you know, you don't necessarily like drop that on somebody, like, if you don't give me these, I'm going to leave. But you know, it needs to be communicated, and along with the taking ownership for allowing that culture to perpetuate where you didn't value yourself enough to ask for those needs to be met.
Right. And it's been a few years now.
Yeah. So how does that sound, like committing to just some solo time to
Yeah.
reflect?
Feels really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to make that happen.
Yeah.
Kind of had that feeling for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let's just get a little round of feedback. Is that from the other guys? Like, if that feels good for John, just from what you heard, just raise your hand, just so he knows.
Yeah.
All right. So it's unanimous here. We're all rooting for you to have some time to yourself. Yeah.
It's good to have these brothers in my life. It makes a difference.
Yeah. And the time alone really makes a difference. Like, we can convince ourselves like, oh, it's not going to change anything, but it's actually really significant what can shift and the clarity that can come through and all this other stuff. So yeah, I'd love to, like, just for accountability's sake, man, just have you check back in the group, you know, just post in the network, like, hey, I'm committing in like a month, I'm going to go do a solo weekend or with some friends.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yep. I agree.
Okay. How about you take a week to like sit with that and get clear on when, and then we'll hear back from you.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'm on it.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's good to see you, John.
Good to see you too.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna wrap up there. We're a little over on time. Didn't get to do anything with you, Mike, but your presence absolutely contributed a ton here, brother. I appreciate you just kind of holding the space and bringing your big, compassionate heart.
Yeah, thank you, John. Another really powerful share. Just very briefly, I was kind of scattered emotionally when I tuned in, and I was on the fence as to whether I would actually attend this. And your shares and Soma's leadership and guidance through those your issues is exactly what I needed to kind of refocus and get a compass bearing. So thank you guys for sharing. It was really beautiful. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing, John. And thanks for being here, Mike.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. And Mike, you know, if there's something, you know, more personal, I know we don't have much time on the call, but I'd love to hear from you in the group. If you want to share something, I'd be happy to reflect on that over the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Mike.
Guys. Have
Thank you.
a good evening, everybody. All right. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.